Today, I'm going to be embarking on a pretty unique trip. It's a very unique mission this time. The story he has told her. Chelsea and I are going out there to film some content. It's literally a 36-hour window. Well, it's supposed to happen this evening if we can get to Marfa with enough daylight.
Set 545, Austin Tower, runway 18 left, continue. Traffic.
There she is, coming over the numbers for 18 right.
545.
80991, Cessna 172, request VFR departure with flight following out to Marfa, Texas. Mike Romeo Fox, 10,500. So, you know the story. We're going out there to film an episode for something, and they're going to be a part of that. Come down into ground effect and hold it off till she's done flying.
2.5 hours until sunset. 45 minutes to go from here to the Airbnb, regroup, and start the drive.
Make it a story.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'm Josh, a pilot and flight instructor with a passion for the sky, sharing it with those around me and using it to see the world from a new perspective. Flying can seem super complex, but I've made it my mission to showcase safe practices while enjoying the beauty this world has to offer. Subscribe to climb into the cockpit on future adventures. This is Aviation 101.
80991, Addison Ground, clear to Hotel Yankee India Airport. Via on departure, fly runway heading, expect radar vectors, show for a 9er departure.
Flight support office for you.
Hey, just wanted to give you guys a heads up ahead of time. I'm going to be coming in today around probably landing about 1 o'clock in a Cessna 172 and would need a courtesy car for about an hour if that's possible.
And what's the tail number?
It's November 80991. Yeah,
Already top off, low lead, and a crew car.
All right, I appreciate that. Thanks a bunch.
No problem. Later this afternoon.
Yep, thanks. Bye. Today, I'm going to be embarking on a pretty unique trip. It's a very unique mission this time. So right now, I am solo, starting to pack up some of the stuff in the airplane, about to get the airplane ready to go. I've got a little bit of time. Chelsea is airlining in from originally Kentucky, layover in Orlando, and she is on a flight from Orlando to Austin Bergstrom Airport, which is about 30 nautical miles that way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go pick her up at Austin Bergstrom Airport, which is where I learned how to fly. So I'm actually excited to fly this airplane into that big airport, go to the big FBO and grab a crew car. And we are gonna fly out west to Marfa, Texas, West Texas. We have a fake mission, but there's a real mission hidden underneath it. My friend Chris, he is proposing to his girlfriend, Keelan. And Chelsea and I are gonna go out there and film the proposal and take photos for them and everything. It's supposed to happen this evening if we can get to Marfa with enough daylight. Now, the story he has told her is that Chelsea and I are going out there to film some content and we just want some B-roll on this little hike. The desk on Hancock Hill. I've seen pictures of it. They've both gone there a bunch and it's a special place to them. And that is where he is planning to drop down on one knee and ask her to marry him. We have a very tight window of time before they go out of the country, and then Chelsea and I are leaving the state actually for a couple of months. So it's literally like a 36-hour window that we can make this happen out in West Texas in the very spot that's special to both of them, and where Chris even wrote in the notebook that normally lives inside of that desk that everybody writes inside. He wrote, "The next time I come back to this spot, I will propose to her." And that's exactly what he intends to accomplish by the time the sun goes down tonight.
San Marcos Tower, Skyhawk 80991, holding short of 17 at Juliet, ready for departure.
Skyhawk 80991, San Marcos Tower, runway 17, clear for takeoff. What direction you're going? You're going north. Make a left turn out northbound.
Left turn out northbound, runway 17, clear for takeoff, 80991. All right, windows, mixture, and lights. All right, checklists are done. Heels down on the floor, so we don't hit the brakes. Full power. Airspeed's alive, engine looks great. There's 55 knots. We are up at 900 feet. All right. Looking left and turning left. I'm gonna go ahead and start listening to Austin ATIS.
Austin Bergstrom International Airport AITIS information Lima, 16530, wind variable at 6, visibility 10, sky clear below 2000, temperature 37, 2.21, altimeter 29907, arrivals expect visual approach runway 18 right, 18 left, simultaneous approaches in use, advise on initial contact, you have information Lima.
Information Lima, and we are almost out of the San Marcos airspace.
Cessna 80991, first exchange approved.
Switching to Austin, 991, good day. Austin approach, Skyhawk, November 80991.
Skyhawk 80991, Austin approach. The altimeter is 2996 request.
906 80991 is level at 3000 off San Marcos. Information Lima inbound, full stop at Bergstrom. We've established
Skyhawk 0242.
two-way radio
Skyhawk
contact.
991 Squawk 0242.
0242. They replied with our tail number. We established two-way radio contact so we can enter the airspace now.
Skyhawk 991, ready to contact 12 South Austin Bergstrom, flying a 070 vector for the left downwind, 18 left.
070 for the left downwind on the left, 80991. Alright, so we're now being vectored, so I'm just going to go to procedure, approach,
18 Georgetown, or do you want the RNAV?
visual 18 left.
We like the RNAV from 18, Arizona 120.
Load and activate.
Roger, clear direct Dagu.
That'll just put a final approach course on the avionics.
It is a relatively short hop to Austin Bergstrom from San Marcos, but because of the traffic flow into a busy airport like this, the controllers need to vector me to the east side of the airport and time my approach to safely fit me in between the beats of scheduled commercial airliners. And one of those airliners has Chelsea on board. It definitely can be overwhelming flying a little airplane into a big airport with all the vectors and traffic and super expensive fuel, but it is quite literally the most convenient place to land for me in this case. Plus, it was a pretty cool moment for me to reflect on the past, given that these controllers are vectoring me for an approach to the same runway that I did my first solo flight on 12 years ago.
Pretty good updrafts here.
Check 991, flying 355 and contact approach 125.32.
355 125 32 80991. Alright, 355 set, 125.32. Using my echoic memory to remember all those numbers that he just spit out.
It also helps that I was expecting the controller to say that. I knew he was going to give me another heading vector soon, 355 degrees, and a handoff to the next control frequency all in the same breath is not uncommon, 125.32. Learning to talk on the radios and to air traffic control is like learning a new language. There are tons of apps out there to learn a new language, but wouldn't it be nice if there were an app to learn aviation radio phraseology and procedures? Well, there is. It's called Plain English, and I just found out about them at Oshkosh, and they are now a sponsor of Aviation 101. Their app is so well designed, it steps you through the basics of how to say numbers and letters properly, all the way to scenario drills where you actually speak the radio calls and it grades your phraseology. Practice copying and reading back IFR clearances, making different requests with ATC, you name it. As a flight instructor, I can truly say this tool is amazing, and that's why I wanted them on board as a sponsor of this content. I'm super excited to be working closely with a company that is making a tool that makes a true difference on the aviation training stage. You can check them out at plainenglish.com and use code AVIATION101 at checkout for 10% off.
Skyhawk 991, turn left heading 310.
310 991. We might actually be landing, touching down on parallel runways at the same time. We'll see how the timing works, but they're cutting me in toward the airport to like make a tight base.
Air Shuttle 6136 Airport, 9 o'clock and...
Coming off autopilot.
Good side, Air Shuttle 6136.
Looking for a
Air
Pilatus.
Shuttle 6136
Down and slightly to our left somewhere in there.
80991
has the Pilatus.
Cessna 991, follow the Pilatus to runway 18 left, contact tower 121.0.
Switching to tower, follow the Pilatus, 991, thanks for the help. Austin Tower, Skyhawk 80991 on a left base, runway 18 left, we have the Pilatus in sight.
Skyhawk 80991, Austin Tower, runway 18 left, continue, traffic may be in position.
Continue, 991. We're literally going to be landing at the same time, that's cool. Where are you landing? Seatbelts, shoulder harnesses are good.
991, wind unavailable, runway 18 left, clear to land.
18 left, clear to land, 80991.
I'm not sure if you caught that. This has definitely never happened to me before, but right as I got that cleared to land call, I was going through my pre-landing checklist and I have a habit of briefly checking the parking brake handle before landing to make sure that it's not engaged. When I did that, my wristwatch caught my harness buckle and unlatched my entire seatbelt. When I felt the straps go slack, it was a surprisingly vulnerable feeling, and had it happened much lower, I would have aborted the approach and climbed back up to the pattern to re-buckle before landing. It was definitely unusual, but luckily uneventful. Don't take those seatbelts and shoulder harnesses for granted.
Jetish 545, Austin Tower, runway 18 left, continue, traffic.
There she is, coming over the numbers for 18 right.
545.
Alright, pre-landing checklist complete. I'm going to use no flaps. Alright, she just touched down.
United 1026, 2 miles from UT for 18 right.
United 1026, Austin Tower, reduce the final approach speed, runway 18 right, continue, traffic will be holding in position.
Okay, continue and
80 knots, got plenty of runway.
Zero wings 1878, no delay to the end, left at the end, ground point 9er.
Delay to the end, no delay, in ground point 9, get steering 1878.
Alright, in ground effect, just let her tell me when she's ready to stop flying. We got plenty of runway. Don't force it onto the ground, just hold it in ground effect.
Remember 650 Bravo Sierra, Austin Tower, traffic, 4 mile final, runway 18 left, line up and wait, be ready to go.
Line up and wait, 18 left, 650 Bravo Sierra.
For 991, right turn Juliet, ground point 9er.
Ground point 9er off Juliet, 991. Ground 809901, clear of 18 left Juliet, going to signature.
Remember 991 Austin ground, taxi to signature via Alpha Lima.
Alpha Lima to signature, 991.
So I've got to go basically around all the runways and go to the other side. No big deal. She is currently walking through the passenger terminal to the passenger pickup area, and I am now about 5 minutes out. So this timing is going to, frankly, work out the best way it possibly could have. How was your airline trip?
Freaking horrible. I hate flying in the airlines. I would rather fly low and slow on a hot, bumpy day, dodging weather, but I'm here, I made it. I'm really excited for today. I've never been to Marfa. I've only actually heard 2 people talk about Marfa, and it's Chris and Keelan. And Josh just told me the plan. I just immediately was like, don't cry, don't cry. Anyways, whenever I was landing, I looked on ForeFlight and I saw 809901 was left base, and we were on final, and I could see him, and I just instantly got really happy and excited.
Back at the FBO, we returned the keys to the crew car, settled up on the semi-painful fuel bill, but you've got to pay for this type of service and convenience. Pretty cool coming semi-full circle right over there, that GA ramp, which is Atlantic, which is next door to signature here. That's where I learned how to fly. First solo, private pilot, check ride, everything. Right there on that ramp. And first solo is right here on this runway. And then here we go, about to go to Marfa. Information Oscar, since this is a Charlie airport, we got to contact clearance first. Austin clearance, Skyhawk, November 809901.
Skyhawk, November 809901, Austin clear.
809901, Cessna 172, request VFR departure with flight following out to Marfa, Texas. Mike Romeo Fox, 10,500.
Roger.
Not sure what the issue was, but the controller finally got a VFR release and squawk code to us about 15 minutes after the initial request. Normally for VFR departures out of this airport, you seldom wait more than a minute or 2 if they're super busy. It's summer in central Texas, so that blazing sun combined with no airflow through the vents means this camera overheated and shut off. No use in trying to restart it until we get some airflow through these vents and it cools down.
Tower 809901, holding short of 18 left, Bravo, ready to go.
Sorry, I stepped down. New Cessna 991 Austin Tower, turn right, heading 240, runway 18 left, clear for takeoff.
240, 18 left, clear for takeoff, 809901. All right, windows mixture lights. All right, right to 240. Wheels down to the floor. Temperature is 40 Celsius, so it's going to be a long roll. Engine's behaving. 55, 60. Still only 1,000 feet. Drop that nose a little bit, build some speed here.
On the visual, 18 left.
American 2835, Austin Tower, runway 18 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 18 left, American 2835.
Cessna 991, 240, heading contact departure, have a good day.
240 to departure, 991, appreciate the help.
52503.
Austin departure, Skyhawk 809901, 1200, climbing 240 assigned.
809991, Austin departure, ready to contact.
So that means keep doing what you're doing.
November 9091, you can proceed on course altitude at your discretion.
On course, we'll keep the climb coming, 9091, thanks. Alright, direct, nav, 10-5. Try to find some air conditioning.
In an airplane like this, and on a day like today, it is a long, slow climb to 10,500 feet. An ambient air temp of 40 degrees Celsius really robs the plane of performance. A higher air temperature makes the air less dense, which makes the airplane feel like it's at a higher altitude. That is called density altitude. Even though Austin, Texas sits only 500 feet above sea level, 40 degrees Celsius lowers the air density so much that it resembles 3,500 feet. As a result, the engine has less air molecules to combust with fuel to turn into power, the propeller has less air molecules to pull us through the air with, and the wings have less air molecules to climb with. Overall, the hotter the outside temp, the worse the plane will perform. Longer takeoff rolls, longer climbs, longer landing rolls. I put a link to the Pilot's Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge down below, and it has a great section on density altitude if you want to read up on it. We let the air vents cool off the glare shield and that camera from that long idle on the ground. And with everything relatively safe from overheating, we're continuing our long, slow climb to 10,500 feet while we brief the plan when we get to Marfa.
Okay, yeah, so you know the story. Like, we're going out there to film an episode for something, and they're going to be a part of that.
That's what he's telling her.
We'll set up for some B-roll, just go up to, hike up to the mountain. I'm not taking the Pelican, but I'm just going to take that burlap backpack.
Are you taking the drone?
I'll take the drone. We're not going to fly the drone while we're doing it, though. That could be like, we can just stage it after the fact and get a couple of swooping shots and stuff like that. He'll go first, meaning he'll sit at the desk and he's going to like pretend to write, but he's actually going to be writing. You and I will get set up, get our angles right, get some shots.
And it's like typical for one person to go up at a time.
Yeah, it's just a desk sitting there. I've never been there, so I don't know like how the terrain looks around that, because we'll need to kind of spread out and get separate shots.
What camera am I using?
The camcorder.
The one that I use all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll use the A7S. Whichever way we frame the shots, I cannot be in your frame, you cannot be in my frame.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
We'll need to figure that out and make sure that neither of us are in the frame. This is where the advantage of like the story of why we're there comes in, because we can kind of stage it so that we are actually like trying to figure out camera angles and get this right, so that we actually have that chance to stage the shot, and then boom, showtime. Let them do it. She'll read it, he'll take her hand, walk just to the side of the desk where it's kind of level, and then he's going to drop to one knee. And then he said after it's said and done, then we can hang out, get whatever footage and play around, drone, whatever we want to do.
Texas is truly the southern gateway to the great American West, and the rugged terrain fades more and more into view as the autopilot carries us straight to Marfa. But the majestic mountain views do come at a price: turbulence.
I'm starting to feel nauseous.
Yeah, it's going to be bumpy on the way down.
Vertical track.
Alright, that was vertical track enunciation. That's 1 minute from top of descent. Altitude bug set 5900. VNAV is armed. Albuquerque Center, Skyhawk 809091, starting the VFR descent into Marfa. We have the weather.
November 809091, no observed traffic. IS4 radar services are terminated. Squawk VFR, increase to advisory.
Marfa Municipal Airport, automated weather observation. 2215, Zulu. Wind 040 at 13. Visibility 10. Sky condition scattered 11,000. Temperature 34 Celsius. Dew point 06 Celsius. Altimeter 3014. Remarks: density altitude 7,800.
Alright, we are certainly not going to go full rich, because it's going to be an 8,000 foot density altitude when we get down there. AWAS is reporting 7,800. And we'll expect a longer landing roll, but we're going to still fly all of our normal airspeeds. We're not going to carry extra speed or any of that sort of misconception. Yeah, it looks like Chris is already out there on the ramp in the car. And there's one Cessna on the ramp, so that's probably his. Alright, car beat's coming out for a beam, 85 knots, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, flap set 10 degrees. Fly the airspeed, fly the normal airspeeds. High density altitude does not mean come in faster. You will feel like you're coming in faster because you technically are, but just fly the same indicated airspeed.
Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah. Marfa traffic, Skyhawk 80991, left base, runway 13, full stop, Marfa. Marfa traffic, Skyhawk 80991, turning final, runway 13, full stop, Marfa. 73 knots. Alright, carb heat's coming in. Prepared for a go-around. And right rudder, left aileron. A little bit of a side slip for the crosswind. Come down into ground effect. And hold it off till she's done flying.
I'm in the white follow me car at the ramp.
Okay, I see you.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for him. I can't even explain. His footage is gonna be like this.
Alright, 2.5 hours until sunset. You said it's about half an hour to the hill.
Yep.
And then about a half hour to get up.
Yep.
We need to start the drive to the hill in 1 hour and 45 minutes before sunset. That's effectively in 45 minutes, alright?
Direct enter. Yes.
Yes, that's in 45 minutes.
Perfect.
So we have 45 minutes to go from here to the Airbnb, regroup, and start the drive.
Make it a story.
Alright.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. We reviewed the plan in the car one more time while Chris brought us to the Airbnb where Keelan already was, so Chelsea and I could drop our stuff, regroup, and get ready for what Keelan thinks is going to be just a simple sunset hike to get some footage. And so far, I think she's buying it. Chris is trying his best to not act like a nervous wreck while we all hopped in the car to make the 25-minute drive to Alpine, Texas, where the Hancock Hill Trail begins. We are right on schedule, and the plan has been well briefed ahead of time, so the only thing left to do is fear not and execute. This is a moment that these two have been dreaming of, and one of them has no idea it's about to happen.
Thank you.
Get video for something. I'm just so shocked.
Okay, January 26th. This is our third January here. I will propose to Keelan here before the end of 2023 with a heart. Love, Chris.
We made our way back down the hill as the light faded from a great day. Chris and Keelan are totally on cloud nine, and frankly, so are we. We just witnessed two of our friends share one of the most special moments in their life together. And the plan came together absolutely flawlessly, and we're walking away, mission accomplished, with all of it captured on camera. And now, we celebrate.
Cheers to lifelong friendships, and
lifelong
to lifelong
love.
love and relationships.
Cheers.
I think we collectively ordered over half the items on the menu, but who cares? The food is amazing, life is good, and congrats are in order. The next morning, we rode back to the airport so Chris and Keelan could get their 172 ready to head back to Austin. They're both really talented photographers and videographers in the Austin area, and they even had a couple of shoots yesterday before they flew to Marfa, and they have even more shoots scheduled today when they get back. The business grind never ends. I wasn't kidding when I said we had a 36-hour window to accomplish this. As for Chelsea and I, we decided to stay an extra day, just the two of us. We took a little time to drive around, explore the area, and just relax. We made a reservation at a place called Margaret's for dinner. The food and the company made this experience a 10 out of 10. We will be coming back to Marfa. With all of our busy schedules, this was not easy to plan, especially with the added complication of Keelan not knowing the true reason. Chris had to convince her to take a random trip for fun in the middle of a massively busy work week for them. I had to rearrange some work stuff on my end, and Chelsea had to rearrange travel plans to be here for this. I guess the moral of this story is, don't be afraid to put over the top almost an inconvenient amount of effort into making a dream become a reality. Because once it's said and done, you will feel so fulfilled looking over your shoulder knowing that you gave that your all. And at that point, regardless of any minor hiccups or bumps you encountered along the way, it'll be a more beautiful outcome than you could have ever imagined. Until next time, everyone, you know the drill. I want you to stay happy, stay healthy, stay current, but most importantly, stay proficient. Dream your wildest dreams, plan it out, and execute. We'll see you in the next video right here on Aviation 101. Fly safe.